This meeting is being recorded.
Forgot about that. So anyway, in the news, Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons has been suspended for at least a year, but indefinite, for gambling $1,500 on NFL games. Okay. My initial thought is what a dumbass, because they know specifically that they should not do that, but we'll touch on, hey, what does this actually mean? I can't believe he did that. People know it, and he was tracked via an app that the NFL is actually a part of. That's how they found out. And why? So he bet $1,500 for, and he lost 11 million because that's his salary for this year.
Yeah.
Crazy. What do you think of the suspension?
Well, the suspension's too long. Look, he
You
has to
think
be
too
punished.
long?
It's too long. He has to be punished, no doubt in my mind. You cannot allow your players to gamble on your games. It doesn't matter, and I believe he actually did bet on Atlanta games to win, but you
So did Pete
cannot.
Rose.
Yeah, you cannot have that just for the appearance of impropriety. You just can't have it. So I get it. You've got to punish him. A year, and the only reason I say a year is too long is because of the NFL's recent cozying up to all these gambling entities. They'll call them official partners, whatever. But the NFL has been cozying up to gambling for the past couple of years, taking their money, making them official sponsors. So how can you say we don't condone gambling within our ranks, and yet we're taking your money? That's my problem. You could have taught a lesson, maybe a $2 to $3 million lesson to Mr. Ridley, by suspending him 4 to 5 games, and sent the same message.
Yeah, see, I disagree completely.
Okay.
I think it's warranted. They need to nip this in the bud right away. Okay, so when you say the NFL's in bed with these companies, I agree with you that they are. NFL's in the business of making money, but guess where that money gets paid out to? Players. You make money. Your only thing is do not gamble on the games. They know this. It's a stated thing in all locker rooms. Do not gamble. They can't gamble on any sports.
Right.
And because it's essentially insider trading. Are you going to get mad at Goldman Sachs if they make money on a deal because they're doing this or that? It's about making money. So that's what the NFL is doing. I think they're separate issues. Now, if you want to say, okay, it's wrong for them to do that, but I think the writing was on the wall. That's why they went into it. Because how long has gambling been a part of actual culture? It's ridiculous.
Well,
so
let me give you an
make
example.
money off it, and then they make revenue, and then they pass on that revenue and then hire the cap for teams, right?
Let me give
how
you
it works.
One historic reference. Alex Karras, famed Detroit Lions player, and then actor. He got busted for gambling on the NFL. He is in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yep.
He subsequently kept playing in the NFL. And this is before they cozied up to it. Look, the NFL has always been a part of gambling. Any sports are. We all know that. If you gambled all, or if you're a dude in America, you understand gambling and sports. We get it. Actually, a dude around the world, because people gamble on soccer. Amazingly, they gamble on cricket. What? So horse racing, all this stuff. So we all know that. But now you've actually partnered with these people. You've made this bed. You're lying in it. It just seems hypocritical.
But they're regulating it.
I get the appearance aspect. So definitely punish him. But $11 million, and it's because he has an $11 million contract for the year.
Right.
That's too much. That's too much of a punishment for something that you're wanting the money from. It's just too much. It's too much.
I don't think so. People make stupid mistakes all the time, and they get punished for a lot worse. So okay, go
let's
ahead.
talk about the most egregious. So this is one dude who actually gambled affirmatively for his team, right? He bet on the Falcons to win. It was a part of a 5 or 8 game parlay. Forget it's some ridiculous, whatever long shot. Let's talk about a guy who gambled an entire season. Stephen Ross for the Miami Dolphins gambled to get the number 1 pick.
That's not confirmed though.
Dude. All right. So
okay, let's tread softly on this because that's not confirmed. We don't know for
I don't give a
sure.
crap. We know the Dolphins tried to tank. We know from the lawsuit by Brian Flores, they tried to tank. He just refused to go along. We know the Browns were tanking because they hired Hugh Jackson. We know that. We know the Colts.
As soon as you hire Hugh Jackson,
Yeah.
we
know the Colts sucked for luck, not by trying, but by having Curtis Painter and Dan Orlovsky start as your quarterbacks. We know they sucked for luck. We know that stuff happened. So,
okay,
if their executives were betting, and we don't know they weren't because they weren't in bed with gambling operations at that time, but we know the possibility existed. I just can't stand the holier than thou crap about it.
I'm not saying it's holier than thou. It's just you have to send a message. You have to. There's no way around it. And
so you don't think him losing, like, say, $3 million out of his $11 million contract, you don't think that's a message? $3 million?
No, because it's a whole season. So it's 11 million to him.
So
but
it
could be. Here's the problem. It could be 75 to Dak Prescott. So
do you think? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. QBs matter more, by the way.
Right. So let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they suspend an Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes for a year? Or is it because this guy
I think
is
you have
relatively unheard of?
He's a talented player. I think
right, but star power. He does not have star power.
I'm not saying he does. I'm saying I think you have to. There's no way around it. And this is
he does not have star power. He's got talent, but no star power. So does the NFL, if it was Rodgers or if it was Mahomes, hypothetically, do they suspend those guys for a year? I don't think they do.
No, they suspend them for a quarter. But I'm not saying they're right in how they Ray Rice knocked his woman out in an elevator and got 2 games. Okay. I'm not saying they know what's right and wrong. I'm saying you have to do this. I think
they were
justified.
They were going to suspend Ray Rice for a quarter up until the video came out. Okay. That's what the NFL was going to do. But then the video came out and
Hey,
outraged. He
if,
got suspended for the rest of the season, but whatever.
if Ridley would have just made his woman
Mhm.
type in his
What-
bet and then
why don't-
punch her in the
why don't
face
you
and
have
knock
your
her
woman-
out.
Yeah. Why don't you have your woman place your bets? What a moron.
I'm sure that happens.
Are they punishing him because he's a moron? Because he
Yes.
cannot
Of course.
go through a relative, hey, I've got this ridiculous 8-game parlay. Do you mind putting 1,500 on it for me?
Of course. He's getting suspended because he's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right, so let's stop all this nonsense, but let's talk about the NFL and gambling. They've got a problem, okay? Because you do have Stephen Ross, you do have the Browns, you do have the Colts, you have all these teams that are tanking for picks. Okay, you got that. Then you've got questionable officiating calls. You and I've said all last season, especially during the playoffs, like during Super Bowl, they're not calling any fouls up until we're driving here. It's a big deal. They have a problem. The NFL.
That's why they need to come out that harsh.
It's not good enough. I mean, these guys have a problem. Anyone with eyes can see it. And I think what happens with the NFL is they distract us all with, will Aaron Rodgers come to my team? Will Russell Wilson come to my team? They distract us all with all this stuff, right? To stop us from thinking about all this is not really kosher. They have a problem with gambling. They need to fix it. They should never have partnered with these people. They never should have taken their money. It is stupid. It's gonna blow up in their face, and it's gonna be soon. It's gonna be soon.
Yeah, well, it's already starting. I mean, you can see it. Yeah, I agree with you. They shouldn't have done it, but it is also another revenue stream that helps the NFL. They're a business, man. What do you want?
No, I get it. And you and I would be all over. I mean, if FanDuel came knocking on our door, we're answering the door, inviting them in, have sex with my wife, as long as you give me the money. I don't care.
Right.
But the NFL is making money hand over fist. I don't know that they needed to do this. I'm just not sure they needed to do this.
Yeah, but so it's an inevitability that with all these sites, okay, let me get a piece of that pie because they can, right? So I just think it was okay. They see the writing on the wall as well. So they're like, all right, let me grab a piece. And so that's a different argument, though. My argument is about suspending a player for a year. Yes, you should, to try to keep your integrity. I can't help but laugh.
They have no integrity. They have none. They have none.
I can't help but laugh because I'm talking about the NFL and integrity in the same sentence.
Look,
but
you've had this the author Tui for years claiming the NFL's fixed, and they've always pushed him off as a fringe author and all this crap, and I get it, but at the same time, is it? So back in the day, when I alluded to Alex Karras at the top of this, back in that day, these guys weren't paid all that much, although Alex Karras he was a star player. So he was paid a lot, but they weren't. So, and these are guys who just could subtly affect a game. Now they're paid a whole lot more. So would you risk it, as Ridley did? Would you risk it to affect a game? And could he really blah, blah, blah? There's all that. But to me, it's not about the players. It's about the NFL. To me, it's about you control the officiating, not only because you've changed the rules, how you can control from New York to change calls.
That's true.
That's a big deal. That's a very, very big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
So you talk about impropriety or the appearance of impropriety. There it is. I just think this is going to blow up in their face. It's going to come sooner rather than later. Maybe through a massive lawsuit from a gambler. I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
and again, I'm not really disagreeing with your premise on the overall dynamic of them being involved in the gambling ring, but in this instance, this particular instance, yeah, they should have suspended him a year. It sucks for him. I hate that he had to do it, but man, don't be an idiot. What I mean, it's just stupid to me.
No, it's totally stupid on his part. Yeah.
But I think they had to do it just to try to save a little face, even though, man, do they ever save face? It's ridiculous.
It is incredible that a guy who's scheduled to make $11 million in a year would gamble 1,500. I know is a 5 or 8 game parlay. So what he stood to make was
30 grand, maybe 40 grand, 50 grand.
for you and I a big deal.
Sure, yeah.
For him, nothing. It's kind of stupid.
No, for us, okay, it makes sense. Like, yeah.
Although I don't think you and I would ever include an Atlanta win in our parlay, right? Ever.
I think we would include an Atlanta lead and then losing it in the end. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Which is what he should have done.
But anyway. Sorry,
Gambling,
buddy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gambling, don't do it.
Well, do it if you're a fan. Don't do it if you're Calvin
Player.